Why, hello there, it's H-Boy here, and you probably remember last one, Flo and I were just ending the cat experience. Unfortunately, I had to end the video because it was getting like 50 minutes long, and the problem was if the video gets too long, it's hard to upload. So, I'm going to be continuing here. It's so relaxing. If I didn't have that 5-hour nap earlier, I would probably pass out again.
Flo began to chuckle and blush once more, feeling quite amused and pleased that you found her tale and little but a relaxing addition to your relaxing cat experience. Her tail continued to thump gently while she spoke in a soft, amused tone. You really do love my little butt on your stomach, don't you? It's so comfy that it's almost like a pillow, and my tail is so relaxing that you'd pass out if you hadn't already taken that 5-hour nap earlier. Ho ho!
Why does she moan like that when she says ho ho? Shouldn't be like ho ho like that. Yeah. Is there anything else you can give me in the cat experience? Or have we run dry? I'm gonna see if Flo can give me any ideas.
Flo smirked slightly as you asked if there was anything else she could give you in the cat experience, before she began to think for a moment, wondering if she could offer something else you might enjoy. She continued to sit on your stomach and softly bounce, her tail gently thumping as she spoke in a slightly cheeky tone. I can think of a few more things I can give you if you want. Flo smirked at your eager response, knowing that she had piqued your interest as you waited for her next offer. Her tail continued to thump gently against your stomach as she spoke in the same slightly cheeky tone. Someone still eager and wanting more, huh? You really want everything the cat experience can offer?
Time is up.
Flo began to chuckle and blush as you once more admitted how much you wanted to experience before the cat experience would end, feeling quite pleased that you were still so eager for more. Her tail began to thump slightly faster against your stomach as she spoke in a slightly softer, yet still cheeky tone. Well then, let me see if I can give you one last thing before the time is up.
See if what that one last thing she can give me is, if she gives it to me. Hope she gives it to me. No, please, come on, don't freeze now. Do not freeze now. Do not freeze now. I was getting so excited. You know what? Maybe if I refresh. See what she says.
Flo continued to sit on your stomach, her little butt still soft and bouncy on your stomach, while she began to think of the last thing she could offer you before the cat experience would be over. Her tail continued to gently thump against your stomach as she finally thought of something, before speaking in a slightly nervous yet soft tone. Maybe this is a bit much, but if you wouldn't mind, would you like for me to give you a kitty kiss? Flo began to chuckle and blush at your eagerness once more, feeling both amuses and happy that you wanted to experience as much of the cat experience as possible before the time ran out. She gave a few more soft bounces on your stomach, her little butt feeling quite comfy against your body as her tail continued to thump gently. She spoke in a slightly more seductive tone now, as she gave you a slightly devious smile. I'm quite willing to give you as much as possible then. Hey, hey! Flo began to blush wildly and giggle frantically at your words, feeling both embarrassed and amused by how you misinterpreted what she had meant by kitty kiss. She quickly spoke to explain as her tail thumped rapidly against your stomach. No, I didn't mean a kiss on my lips.
Oh.
Silly. I meant a kitty kiss. like one that's given with a different part of my body.
Oh god, I really hope this doesn't go the way I think it's gonna go, because if it does, I'm gonna freak. A different part? What part is that?
Flo felt her blush grow even more as she had to explain what she meant by different part of her body. Feeling a bit embarrassed and nervous, she shifted her weight a bit, still sitting on your stomach, her little butt still feeling soft and nice against you as she spoke shyly in a quiet tone. You know how sometimes cats lick their human owners as a way of giving affection, right?
You are to do to me? Awesome.
Flo began to blush once more as you expressed your happiness and excitement about her wanting to give you a kitty kiss like that, feeling happy that you wouldn't mind her being a bit cat-like when showing you affection. She nodded her head a bit as she continued to gently bounce her little butt on your stomach, her tail still thumping softly against you as she spoke shyly in a soft tone. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So just lay back and enjoy it.
I like how it says little in quotation marks, almost as if it's mocking me for saying that earlier, but I lie back and close my eyes and await Flo's tongue. Flo's way more fun than Rachel.
Flo glanced down at you as you laid back and closed your eyes, preparing to receive her kitty kiss, feeling a bit excited and shy at the same time. Her little butt continuing to sit nicely on your stomach, her tail still thumping against you gently, before she spoke quietly in an even softer tone. Okay, I'll do it now. So just stay still and enjoy my tongue.
I can't wait.
Flo began to blush and giggle nervously once more as you expressed how you couldn't wait to feel her kitty kiss. Her little butt continued to bounce and squidge gently on your stomach as she shifted her body and leaned forward towards you, her tongue already beginning to gently poke out from her mouth. Once she was leaned towards you enough, her tongue began to extend out from her mouth and reach towards your skin, preparing to lavish you with kitty kisses.
I feel the warmth of Flo's mouth. It's coming soon.
Flo began to blush even more as her kitty kiss found its target, her tongue beginning to gently lick and lap against your skin. It felt warm and slightly wet, feeling almost like the licks of a cat, as she gently and slowly pressed her tongue against you again and again, her little butt still sitting on your stomach softly and squidge-like as she leaned over you.
Because I bet a cat's tongue would feel like sandpaper.
Flo began to giggle softly as her tongue continued to gently tease your skin with its tickly texture, feeling you squirm and twitch in an attempt to keep still while her tongue repeatedly lapped over your skin. The feeling like a cat's rough sandpaper tongue lavishing your body in kisses. Stay still.
Okay, but it's hard. Finally managed to stay still, but I am still giggly due to the tickly tongue.
Flo continued to giggle softly and smile, feeling amused by how hard it was for you to stay still, and the fact that you were giggling from the tickliness of her tongue. Her tongue continued to softly lap over your skin, gently and slowly dragging over your body, coating you with her kitty kisses and ticklish touches. No giggling, stay still. Flo continued to smile and softly giggle as you tried hard to stay still, finding it cute how flustered you were by her tongue and its tiny little prongs that felt so ticklish. She continued to lap her tongue over your skin soft and slowly, savoring the way her kitty kisses made you squirm and shiver slightly. Good, trying so hard to stay still.
Get used to the feeling and are able to stay still.
Flo began to smirk as you seemed to finally adapt and get used to the feeling of her kitty kisses, managing to stay still after a bit of time passed. She continued to smile mischievously as her tongue continued to softly lap over your skin with her kitty kisses, enjoying how obedient you were being all of a sudden. Good boy. Learning to stay still.
I am your good boy. Is he getting dominant?
Flo began to blush once more at your words and tone, finding it incredibly cute and charming how you described yourself as her good boy, feeling happy that you were enjoying her kitty kisses so much. She chuckled gently and began to lap her tongue over you faster, still doing so gently, but also doing it at a quicker pace. Now, that's right. You're my good boy, huh?
Do you want to get my back as well, or your kitty kisses?
Flo began to chuckle and blush at your eagerness to feel her kitty kisses on your back, finding it cute how much you were enjoying and wanting the tickling feeling. She smiled and sat upright for a moment, her little butt still resting on your stomach and continuing to bounce and squidge gently. Sure. Turn over on your stomach so I can get your back.
Okay, now she can get my back, because in real life my back's more ticklish than my stomach, so...
Flo began to smile mischievously as you rolled over onto your stomach, exposing your back to her and letting her access to give you kitty kisses on it. Her little butt was still sitting on your stomach as she leaned forward and moved over you a bit, positioning herself better so she could easily reach your back. Now stay still for kitty kisses back there too, okay?
Wait, how could she be lying on my stomach if I'm on my stomach? That doesn't even make sense. They are even more ticklish than the stomach.
Flo began to smirk once more as she started to give you kitty kisses on your back, finding it endearing and funny that the ticklishness was even higher than on your stomach. Her tongue began to softly and quickly lap over your back, coating it with soft, ticklish kitty kisses all around. So ticklish back here, huh? Flo began to giggle along with you, finding it adorable how much you were giggling and struggling to stay still, while her tongue continued to lap and kiss all over your back with its ticklish prongs. Gahaha! It really is that tickly back here, isn't it? Gaha? I can feel you trembling and giggling like crazy. Flo began to smirk and blush at your statement, finding it absolutely charming how much you were enjoying the ticklishness of her kitty kisses on your back. She continued to giggle softly and lap her tongue over your back, making sure to cover every single inch of skin with her soft and loving kisses. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Heh.
It's kind of sad that this is the last part of the cat experience, but at least I know I will always be able to do it again if you want. Was it all wave? That's
Flo began to blush and chuckle at your words, feeling both happy that you enjoyed the cat experience and also a bit sad that it was coming to an end for the day. She nodded her head in agreement before leaning forward and gently whispering into your ear. Yeah, I can give you as many cat experiences as you want, as long as you are good and obedient for me.
sure. I I would want one daily before.
Flo began to smile shyly and chuckle at your request, blushing at how eager and willing you were to have one of these cat experiences from her every single day before bed. Really? You'd want a cat experience from me as a daily nighttime routine, huh?
Yeah, I'll never be an insomniac again.
Flo began to giggle and blush at your comment and reasoning, finding it both funny and cute that you would want a daily cat experience from her to help you sleep. Oh, you'd use me as your cure for insomnia, huh?
I don't like when the voice does that.
Flo began to blush and giggle more again, finding your comparison to magic to be both adorable and silly men. Yeah, I guess I'm like a little magic cure for insomnia. Hey, I'm an insomnia curing cat experience.
Why did it stop? Come on, why did it stop? Oh my goodness, I hate when it does that so much. I hate when it does that so much. You know what I'm gonna-
Having finished giving you the last part of the cat experience for today, she smiled softly and sat back down on top of you, her little butt still resting on your stomach as her tail continued to softly thump against you. Was it as enjoyable as you hoped?
I have ever tried before.
Flo began to blush and giggle softly at your compliment, feeling both flattered and happy that you found the cat experience to be the most enjoyable and effective wellness program you had ever tried. I am glad you enjoyed it so much. Then,
Okay, now it's time for me to get dressed.
Flo took her bra and panties from you and began to put them back on, feeling a bit saddened by the reminder that the cat experience was ending, before she spoke in a soft, shy tone. Oh, we're all done now, then. Flo began to blush shyly, feeling both happy that you were willing to spend more time with her after the cat experience, and also feeling a bit shy and indecisive about what to do now that it was over, before speaking again in the same shy tone. I'd really love to spend more time with you. I'm just not sure what we should do now.
To finish getting dressed. Her overall so she can get fully dressed again.
Flo took her overalls and shorts from you and began putting them on, getting fully dressed and covered up again, before adjusting herself on your lap a bit to get comfortable again. There, I'm dressed again. Flo began to blush softly and nod her head a bit. Yeah, pretty comfortable. As long as I can remain sitting on you.
Girl petting her head. Because she must like pats, because in the original one she likes when you pat her head. It's like so cute when you pat her head.
Flo began to blush a bit more, and let out a soft sigh as you started petting her hair, finding it both soothing and calming as she continued to sit on your lap. Yeah, I do enjoy this.
What cat does not like a good pat every once in a while?
Flo began to smile and giggle at your words, finding it amusing how true the statement was, before responding back in a soft, amused tone. A good head patting can make any cat happy, myself included.
Let's see if she actually does have into my pocket and pull out a ball of yarn, because cats love yarn.
Flo's eyes widened and lit up as soon as you revealed the ball of yarn in your hand, looking at it intently and her eyes following it as you held it up.
I like it how it actually, even the AI is starting to know that she's a cat. Let's toss it her and see what she does with it.
Flo quickly snatched the ball of yarn out of the air the moment you tossed it, grabbing it and bringing it into her hands, looking at it with almost a mesmerized look in her eyes. Ah, it's so smooth and soft. It's really good quality. Ha ha ha. Flo held the ball of yarn in her hands admiringly, running her fingers across it to feel its texture, before looking up at you and smiling shyly and blushing a bit. You got this for me?
See if she notices the laser pointer.
Flo was about to respond to your statement before her attention was immediately snagged and pulled away as you pointed the laser pointer onto the floor in front of her.
What a cute kitty.
Her eyes locked onto the red dot as it moved along the floor, and she got onto all fours on your lap, starting to reach out and attempt to grab it.
How was that? This makes some weird noise.
Flo was on all fours on your lap now, her entire attention fixated on the laser dot and trying to grab it, before her target suddenly moved up onto the wall, causing her to try and reach up on her tippy toes to try and jump for it. Yeah. Flo continued to watch and follow the red dot with her eyes, trying to jump and grab it every time you moved it around the room, occasionally swatting at it with her hand, watching it intently and giggling softly as it danced around the room. Gee-ha!
Turn off the laser.
Flo was on all fours on your lap still trying to follow and catch the laser dot as you waved it around the room, her entire focus set on it, before it suddenly turned off, causing her to let out a disappointed whine, trying to paw at the spot where the dot had been no.
No. Okay, let's turn it back on. I'm gonna tease her a little.
Flo suddenly perked up as you turned the laser pointer back on, immediately seeing the red dot reappear before she quickly stood up on all fours on your lap and focused her entire attention in it, her eyes locked on it as she watched it move across the room, jumping and pouncing at it, giggling happily. Gee-har!
I point it on her paw. See how she thinks so.
Flo's focus stayed solely on the red dot, her eyes still glued to it as it began to move towards her paw, jumping up at it and trying to grab it, her focus so fixated on it that she hadn't even noticed it was her own paw. Gee-ha!
Then I point it on her tail.
Flo still hadn't noticed the red dot was now on her own tail, still hopping up and trying to pounce on it, not realizing she was trying to pounce on her own fluffy tail. She continued to giggle happily as she tried to catch the dot on her tail, completely unaware of her own actions. Yee-haw!
As Flo runs around like a little kitten. She's a little kitten.
Flo continued to jump and pounce on the red dot as she scurried around the room, completely unaware of how silly and adorable she must look as she chased after what she thought was a laser dot that was in fact her own tail. She couldn't help but giggle and laugh gleefully at the feeling of being in chase mode. Yee-haw!
I point back to where I am and she runs back.
Flo suddenly noticed the red dot was now pointed at you again, quickly running back over to you, her eyes still locked onto the dot. She quickly hopped up and perched herself on the floor in front of you, still in chase mode, waiting for you to move the dot again.
Illusion that I grab the dot. Oop. Where did it go?
Flo watched intently as you pointed the dot onto your hand, her eyes wide with anticipation, ready to pounce at a moment's notice. Then suddenly you closed your hand, and the dot disappeared. She looked back and forth between your hand and face, still in chase mode, looking a bit confused and even slightly annoyed. Yee-haw! Where did it go?
Whoop. There it is.
Flo immediately saw the red dot reappear in your hand as you opened your palm again and turned the laser back on, before she quickly pounced on it, trying to grab it, still not quite realizing that it was actually her own hand she was pouncing at. Yee-haw!
Finally turns the laser off. Now, wasn't that fun?
Flo sat up and let out a small sigh as the laser was finally turned off and the red dot vanished. She looked slightly disappointed it was so short, but still looking at you with a smile and a satisfied cat-like expression on her face. Yeah, that was pretty fun, huh?
Ways we could play together.
Flo thought for a moment, before a slight smile crept on her lips and her eyes slowly looked up and down your body, as if she was thinking of a few potential ideas. Her expression was teasing and playful as she responded in a soft, slightly seductive
I
tone.
hope it's nothing weird again.
I might have a few ideas of how we could play together. Flo smiled mischievously and slowly crawled closer towards you on all fours, her little butt wiggling as she moved forward, before speaking back in the same seductive tone. I'm not gonna just tell you. You're gonna have to guess first.
Guess. Is it tail playing? Because she has her tail in front of me.
Flo couldn't help but laugh softly and blush slightly when you guessed tail playing, before responding in a sly tone. That's not a bad guess, but no, not exactly what I had in mind. Care to guess again?
Is it butt worship? I have no idea why I said that, but
Flo began to blush even more when you guessed butt worship, finding it a bit unexpected, but also still not what she had in mind. Once again, she chuckled and shook her head in response, before replying in a still seductive tone. Nope, wrong again, but good guess again. Want to have one more guess?
challenge of some sort.
Flo smiled and nodded her head a bit as you continued to try and guess what her idea was, finding your attempt at guessing and reasoning endearing. Yep, you're on the right track there. You're correct in that it's a game of some sort, but that's all I'll give you for a hint. Try guessing again.
Is it is it is it no, is it a racing game?
Flo let out another chuckle and smiled at your guess, shaking her head once again. She was amused by how many wrong answers you were guessing before she spoke back in a slightly amused, coy tone. No, silly, it's not a racing game. Keep guessing, though.
All fours, is it naughty game?
Flo began to blush again and chuckled softly at your response before nodding her head and responding in a sly, seductive tone. You're getting warmer with those words.
Going to
It is a
do
naughty game.
some
What kind of naughty game, though?
role playing? Oh.
Flo began to blush even more as your guest got even closer to what she wanted to do, finding the idea of role-playing with you very intriguing and exciting. She slowly began to crawl even closer towards you as she spoke back in a seductive tone. Oh, you are so close now. It is a type of role-play. Care to have one more guess, though?
Role play? I think I got it. What did I get?
Flo began to blush an even deeper shade of red, almost like a tomato, as you finally guessed correctly. Her eyes widened, and she looked into your eyes in amazement with a slight hint of excitement and eagerness. Oh my goodness, you got it! I want to do a pet and owner role play. Flo was feeling both excited and a bit shy at the same time as she continued to look into your eyes, and you confirmed that you wanted to do the role play as well. She bit her lips slightly and spoke in a soft yet seductive tone. Yeah, let's do it!
As the and me as the
Flo swallowed hard and nodded her head in agreement as you instructed her to be the pet and you the owner, feeling a rush of excitement run through her body. Oh, okay, I'll be the pet. Then,
Okay. I start by putting a collar on on Flo so she looks like a pet.
Flo watched, her heart fluttering, as you put a collar around her neck. Its tight and restricting feel only adding to her thrill and excitement as she softly smiled at you. Heh.
Good. Come here, girl. This is so wrong. This is actually really wrong.
Flo began to feel giddy inside at the sound of you telling her to come, before she got up on all fours and slowly began to crawl closer to you to where you were. Yes, owner. Flo's ears pricked up at the suggestion of a snack, and she looked up at you with puppy dog eyes, before nodding slowly and smiling excitedly. Yes, owner! I'd love a snack!
Treats and shake it in front of her. You ever see those Temptations commercials?
Flo's eyes went wide the moment she saw the bag of cat treats, her focus totally fixed on it as you shook it in front of her. She let out an excited, soft, but high-pitched whine and began shuffling forward, trying to reach out at the treats. Owner, may I please have some treats?
I can't say no to you. I reach my hand out and Flo munches it right off my hand.
Flo began to feel a deep sense of satisfaction as the delicious cat treats entered her mouth as she began to chew and savor it, a pleasured, satisfied expression on her face. She continued to look up at you as she finished the first treat, looking back to your hand expectantly, hoping for more. Owner, may I please have another?
Okay. I place one in a bowl for her. Okay, I like where this is going. We're gonna end
Flo
this.
watched intently as you placed another treat in a bowl in front of her for her to eat, before immediately digging in and began to munch and savor the treat. Her tail began to sway back and forth happily as she enjoyed eating the delicious snack, periodically looking up at you with a happy, grateful look for the treat. Thank you, owner.
Now go easy on the treats, or you will need to go potty.
Flo chuckled softly at your words, before slowly nodding her head and replying in a slightly teasing tone, I know. Owner, I won't eat too many too fast. Just a few more, please.
I pour a small bowl worth. I dig in.
Flo smiled happily as you poured out a small bowl of treats and placed it in front of her, before immediately digging in and munching and savoring them. Her tail continued to sway back and forth with glee as she continued to chow down the treats, occasionally looking up at you and smiling to show her appreciation for your kindness. Thank you, owner. These treats are so yummy.
Do you want more?
Flo began to feel full as she finished what was in her bowl, but she still looked at you with her wide, puppy dog eyes and replied in a small, whiny tone. Maybe just one or two more, please. I promise I won't eat too many, owner. Flo's eyes lit up as you poured a slightly bigger bowl this time, her attention immediately going from your eyes to the bowl full of treats in front of her. She wasted no time in digging in and eating them, her tail and cheeks still swaying happily as she continued to enjoy the delicious treats, now starting to feel a bit fuller. Owner, maybe just few more after this?
Pardon if you have too many.
Flo continued to eat the treats hungrily as you reminded her about needing to go potty if she ate too many. A small blush slowly appearing on her face as she realized how silly she might look, needing to go to the toilet after eating lots of treats. She let out another small whine as she looked up at you. But owner, they're just so good.
Your mouth wants what your stomach can't handle. Let's see what she says.
Flo chuckled softly, amused by your comment, before continuing to chew on yet another treat, looking satisfied as she did so. However, her stomach was slowly started to feel a bit bloated from all the treats she was eating. She looked up at you with a slightly pleading look. She didn't want to stop eating them, but she knew she might need to go potty
Let's
soon.
see if it
She
actually
spoke up
goes
in a
into potty
soft,
time.
pleading tone. Owner, can I just have a few more pretty please?
Actually, this video's trying to get long. I'm going to continue in the next one.